Hello everyone, welcome to the story of Wishmaster, part 7. I was thinking that one possible way out for Alex would be to turn green and go all Hulk on the djinn. The Hulk has no need for wishes, his rage is all he needs. He would smash the djinn and the gemstone into a million pieces. But seriously, once again, this will be a shorter chapter. We are getting nearer to the end, and I don't want to put it all into one long episode. So let's get on with the story. Since Wendy still isn't answering her phone, Alex realises that she will just have to go out and find her. It's the weekend now, so it's very unlikely she would be at the university. So Alex decides to go and visit her at home. She arrives at apartment 203 and she knocks urgently on Wendy's door. A few seconds later, she knocks on the door again, and this time Wendy opens it. Alex says hi and she asks if she can come in. Wendy responds positively and Alex quickly enters the apartment. She sits down with the professor and she gets straight to the point. The stone is charged. It's charged with people's souls. The djinn is after me. I need to know what to do. Wendy is unhelpful and she tells her that this is the 20th century and that what Alex describes seems unlikely. She goes on to offer Alex a drink, but Alex says no. So Wendy gets herself a drink, and as she does so, she says to Alex, "This is a nice cabinet, isn't it? Your boss would really like this." This makes Alex suspicious. Why has she said that? Alex remembers telling Wendy that she didn't work for Raymond Beaumont, but she didn't tell her anything else about her work. So Alex replies, "My boss? I never told you who I worked for." Wendy then asks, "Then how would I know?" Alex suggests that maybe Raymond Beaumont mentioned it, and Wendy replies that yes, that must have been it. Alex doesn't press her further, but she's definitely puzzled by this exchange. Wendy then decides to put Alex's mind at ease by telling her that in the olden times, spells did exist to get rid of a djinn. She thinks that Alex looks cold, so she offers to put the heating on. Alex declines the offer again, and she tells her to continue. Rather negatively, Wendy then tells her that all the sorcerers are dead, and all the spells are lost to time. She then goes on to praise the djinn. If the djinn existed, he would be all there was, and he would have a fine old time, wouldn't he? Confused and a little bit angry, Alex tells her that this isn't a joke. Trying to deflect her, Wendy asks her if she's hungry. But that just makes Alex mad, and she says, "I'm not hungry. I'm not thirsty. Why do you keep trying to do things for me?" After a few seconds, Alex regains her composure, and she asks Wendy to continue again. Wendy tells her that with no spells, there would be no hope. Alex is defiant now. She replies, "If there is no hope, no magic, I'll have to rely on myself." Wendy laughs. She thinks that idea is comical. She then goes on to praise the djinn some more, and she suggests that a battle between Alex's tiny 20th century brain and the djinn would be no contest. Alex tells her that she is glad that she amused her. Wendy apologizes for hurting her feelings, and she seems sincere, and she offers to make it up to her. Alex has had enough though, and she now thinks this is a complete waste of time. And she tells Wendy that she will be going now. She gets up to leave, and as she is walking towards the door, the Djinn, in his deep and demonic voice, tells her to sit down. The Djinn's facade and cunning plan has failed, so he changes his appearance back to Nathaniel's. When Alex turns around, he tells her to sit down again, but this time he uses Nathaniel's charming voice, and he says please. The Djinn is being civil now, but of course Alex is still terrified of him. Unlike everyone else Nathaniel has spoken to, Alex has some idea of what he is and what he wants. Nevertheless, she doesn't run from him. Instead, she asks, "Where's Wendy?" Nathaniel tells her she's in the bedroom, but that it's not pretty because he needed her face. Alex tells him that he killed her, but he reminds her that he can't kill anyone unless they wish it. Alex tells him that she didn't wish to be dead, you lying sack of shit. Alex isn't pulling any punches. Nathaniel responds by blaming her for all the deaths. He tells her that she's a dangerous person to know, and then he asks her about her sister. The Djinn isn't pulling any punches either. Alex says that if he harms Shannon, she will kill him. Since his approach still isn't working, the Djinn transforms into his true form, and Alex exclaims, "Oh my God." He then tells her to make her wishes. 3 wishes, Alexandra. Doesn't that intrigue you? Just a little? Anything you want? Alex replies, "Anything?" So she wonders what would happen if she wished him dead. So she asks him, "Why, how remarkably original, Alexandra. I tell you what, I'll give you one free wish. Get you into the spirit of the game." Alex tells him to destroy himself by blowing his brains out. The Djinn produces a loaded Magnum revolver. He places it under his chin and he pulls the trigger. The bullet leaves a large bloody hole in the top of his head, but it heals almost immediately. The Djinn is unharmed. He then tells her, "That which is eternal cannot die, but if it's any consolation, that hurt like hell." He now demands that she make her wishes. So Alex thinks for a moment, and she tells him that she always tells her girls to know their opponent, and she decides to make a wish. The Djinn is pleased. He smiles and he says, "Good." And Alex tells him that she wants to know what he is. The Djinn transports them both to his old prison inside the gemstone. It now contains his victims, chained up along the walls. They are all suffering in different ways. He sits on a large black throne and he says, "To you, I am this." And he goes on to list some of the things she fears and some of the things she worries about. He shows her each of the victims and what he has done to them. He tells her that he is despair. The Djinn also has a pet. It is a hellhound. Hellhounds are a little bit like dogs, but much more savage, and they have many sharp teeth. This one is particularly ugly and ferocious. The Djinn commands his hellhound to attack, and Alex turns around and runs. The prison inside the gemstone is a maze of tunnels, and Alex has no idea where to go, but she keeps on running. She turns a corner, and suddenly everything is calm. Perhaps she just imagined the hellhound. Now she hears Shannon's voice calling to her. So she turns towards the sound and she calls back. But now the djinn appears behind her and he startles her. He laughs. And she tells him that she didn't wish for this. She tells him that he is supposed to be outside, not in here. And since he is still granting the wish, the djinn explains a little bit more about himself. And that if this isn't what she wanted, she should word her wishes more carefully. Now the hellhound reappears, and Alex is terrified, so she runs again. Around the next corner, the djinn speaks to her again, but this time he is outside the gemstone looking in. He tells her that she has left her sister all alone, but she needn't worry because he will find her and keep her company. Now Alex is really frightened. It seems there is no way out. But she still tells him not to go near Shannon. He replies that he might have to, unless Alex stops him. He tells her to wish herself back. Since she has no other options, she does just that. She wishes that she was in her apartment right now, without him. And the wish was worded precisely enough that the djinn has to grant it without twisting it. Back in her apartment, Alex immediately calls out for Shannon, and she begins to look for her, but she's not there. She finds a note on the table. It's from Shannon. The note tells her that Shannon has gone to Beaumont's party and that Alex should join us if she can. Distraught, Alex tears up the note. Suddenly, the phone rings, and that gets her attention. But the djinn speaks to her directly, though. He tells her they are so connected now. Wherever you go, I'll be there. Wherever you are, I'll find you. Alex's despair turns into anger. She walks across the room, picks up the phone, and she shouts 2 words into the mouthpiece. Fuck you! I think the scene with Wendy is a little bit odd. The intention seems to be that the audience will figure out that Alex isn't talking to the real Wendy. Whether Alex has figured that out is ambiguous, but it seems like she probably did. What's really interesting about that scene, though, is that we learn something else about the djinn. He's omnipotent, but he's not omniscient. By taking the gemstone, he removed the possibility that someone could use it to imprison him again. But not all of the spells are gone. At least one of them remains. If that puzzles you, have a think about it for a little bit. Leave a comment if you've figured it out, or if you're still confused. We saw at the very end of the chapter why I suggested right at the beginning that Alex might go all Hulk on the djinn. From that very last scene, that seems like a definite possibility. Will we see Alex turn green and pound the djinn into a pulp? I think I'd like to see that. In the next episode, Alex makes her way to Beaumont's party and she tries to find Shannon. Of course, the djinn has exactly the same idea, and everyone at the party are going to get a lot more than they bargained for. The djinn only needs one more wish from Alex. Let me know what you think.